What if the most expensive thing most people will ever buy is designed to fail? Not in 10 years. Not in 20. But in about 50. Meanwhile, just across the Atlantic, people are still living in homes built before electricity existed, before cars, even before the United States itself. Same century. Same modern technology. Same global access to materials. So why does one side of the world build homes that last centuries, while the other builds homes that barely last a lifetime? The answer is not what you think. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. Music rises. Brick Part 1, Two Worlds, Two Building Philosophies. Walk through Germany, Italy, Spain, or the Netherlands, and something becomes obvious almost immediately. Homes feel permanent. Stone. Brick. Concrete. Thick walls designed to survive centuries, not decades. Now cross into the United States. Suddenly, houses are lighter. Faster to build. Easier to replace. Wood framing dominates almost every suburban street. Two completely different systems, for the same human need, shelter. And the difference is not just style. It is survival philosophy. One system builds for permanence. The other builds for speed. Part 2, The American Wood Machine. In the United States, roughly 90% of single-family homes are built using wood framing. 2x4 studs. Plywood sheets. Oriented strand board. Materials that are fast, cheap, and widely available. But also materials that burn quickly, rot over time, and are vulnerable to termites and storms. So why use them? Because America is rich in forests. That's the simple answer. But it's also the incomplete one. Yes, the US has one of the largest timber industries in the world. Wood is abundant, cheap, renewable. But that only explains how the system started, not why it never changed. Classical building Part 3, Europe ran out of wood. Europe used to build with wood too. Hundreds of years ago, forests covered much of the continent. But by the Middle Ages, something changed. Ships were being built. Cities were expanding. Firewood demand exploded. And slowly, Europe ran out of easy timber. By the 1500s, wood was no longer the default. It became a luxury. So Europe adapted. Brick. Stone. Lime mortar. Slower to build. More expensive. Heavier. But permanent. And once that shift happened, it never reversed. Entire industries formed around masonry. Masons became specialists. Cities became stone-built ecosystems. And buildings started to outlive generations. Evergreen Tree Part 4, America never had to switch. Now contrast that with North America. When European settlers arrived, they didn't face scarcity. They faced abundance. Vast forests stretching for thousands of miles. Cutting trees wasn't difficult. It was necessary. You needed land. You cleared forests. And used the wood immediately. No kills. No heavy stone supply chains. No skilled masonry networks. Just timber. Fast construction became survival. Then came balloon framing in the 1800s. A breakthrough that changed everything. Now a house could be built quickly, by relatively unskilled labor, using standardized wood. And just like that, speed became the foundation of American housing. Not durability. Not longevity. Speed. Link Part 5, The Lock-in Effect. Here's where things get interesting. Because once a system is built around one material, everything else adapts to it. Building codes. Insurance systems. Bank mortgages. Labor skills. Supply chains. In America, everything is optimized for wood. So even if better materials exist, switching becomes difficult. Expensive. Slow. This is what economists call path dependence. A system locked in by its own history. And Europe is the same, but reversed. Try building a wooden house in parts of Europe today. You can do it. But it will face resistance. Higher insurance costs. Stricter regulations. Lower resale value. Because the system expects brick, not wood. Moneybag Part 6: The Hidden Cost of Wood. Wood homes are cheaper up front. But over time, the cost tells a different story. In the United States, hundreds of thousands of house fires every year. Billions in fire damage. Millions spent on termites and repairs. And frequent rebuild cycles after storms. A wood home is not built to last centuries. It is built to be replaced. Meanwhile, in Europe, many homes are still standing after 200, 300, even 500 years. Some older than modern nations themselves. One system preserves wealth across generations. The other constantly resets it. Tornado Part 7: When nature reveals the difference. When hurricanes hit Florida, wood homes can collapse in minutes. But reinforced concrete homes often remain standing. After Hurricane Andrew, entire building codes were rewritten to encourage stronger materials in high-risk zones. Because the technology exists. It just isn't used everywhere. Wildfires show the same pattern. Termites too. Every weakness points to the same conclusion. Wood is efficient, but fragile. Brain final idea: the system chose itself. The biggest misunderstanding is thinking this is about trees. It's not. It's about history locking itself into infrastructure. Europe ran out of wood and built for permanence. America had endless wood and built for speed. And once those paths formed, they never fully changed. Even today, in 2026, with modern materials, engineering, and technology, the system still repeats the same ancient decision. So the real question is not, why does America build with wood? The real question is, can a system ever escape the choices it made 300 years ago? Or does history quietly decide what your future looks like?